What is next for you, Dice? What are you looking at?
That's why I wanted to talk about the Bill Burr thing.
You have a question before we start?
Yeah, one sec. Babe, Sugar Plum, do I look good? Why can't I hear her?
You don't have headphones on,
Put your
but she's
headphone.
not. She wasn't saying anything.
Oh, you
This
really
is
will?
Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I'm Howie Mandel.
I'm Jacqueline Schultz, his
and
daughter.
my good buddy for I haven't seen him in like a century. Dice Clay is in the room, but you had a question before we started. You're asking.
I was asking Sugar Plum if I look good.
You look amazing.
No, but I'm saying the angle.
Oh.
You know, because you got to understand.
No, she's talking to you. You see that?
What?
You can come closer to the mic so you can talk to him. Sugar Plum is your girlfriend.
Yes, for over 4 years now.
Well, that's fantastic.
You look great.
Greatest. What's that?
You look great.
All right. How's the neck of the T-shirt?
It looks good.
What
All
are
right.
you worried about?
Your neck?
I don't.
What's
know.
with your neck?
No. She's very. You know, she came from the corporate world. Okay.
Were they worried about necks?
No, listen to this.
Okay.
Listen to the story.
Sorry.
All right. So, just to talk about my girlfriend for a minute. So,
Sugar Plum.
after I got rid of the last wife, right? Because, you know, we got a bunch of wives, you know.
How many times you been married?
Not the way you think. 3 times.
I remember Dollface.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But,
Oh.
so after the last one,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm never going through this again. Nobody's serious again.
Right.
Which was about 5.5 years ago, whatever. So Eleanor, who I was engaged to, who's my opening act, met Sugar Plum on the Practical Jokers cruise, okay? And Eleanor starts telling her, I got the greatest guy for you. And she starts talking about me, you know.
Eleanor is your girlfriend.
No, we were engaged, but
Well,
not at that point. It ended. It ended, and I just took her as an opening act. Eleanor Kerrigan's my opening act for the last.
And it was your fiance.
At one point.
But you were able to call off the wedding, yet keep her as an opening act.
Yeah, she's a great comic. She's unreal. Like, she is the best opener I've ever had. Okay, and
You just couldn't close.
And so anyway, Eleanor's on this cruise opening. I think I think also Kid Rock was on there, but it was the Impractical Jokers cruise, and she meets Kerry, and starts telling her about me, because she liked Kerry a lot. She thought she was like a terrific girl. So Kerry's hearing, you know, about Dice, and she's going, you know what? I'll pass. You know, like, you're not with him. Like, why would I want to be with him?
Right. How do you sell somebody something that you gave up on?
Exactly.
I know.
So about 8 months later, I'm doing some shows in Dallas, and Eleanor goes, remember the girl I told you about? And I sort of did, but didn't, but she showed me a picture of her.
Right.
I go, yeah, what's the deal? She goes, she's coming to see me tomorrow night. Not even me, you know, she's coming to see Eleanor.
The opening act.
Yeah, and I go, well, you know, is she still single? And she goes, I don't know. I'm going, well, that's the important part, you know. Get it, you know, write something to her, you know.
Write something.
Yeah, like the DM thing, you know.
Oh, okay.
And
on Instagram.
yeah, so Kerry writes back.
Direct message.
Yeah, I never knew what that meant.
You didn't know what the DM thing?
I'm not a technical guy like you. I don't believe in that
I'm not
stuff.
that technical, but you didn't know what the DM was?
Not the way you think. You see what I mean? Like,
No.
I knew it meant, like, there's a message going in.
So there's the M. What did you think the D was?
You
you were looking, you wanted
I
to get the
never-
A
D
dick
to the
message.
M.
No, I never even thought of what DM might mean. My mind doesn't go that way.
Okay.
So the bottom line is, Kerry writes back, she's still single. And the next night we meet, you know, and the minute we started talking, it was like you would say, like magical, you know, and we've been together ever since, you know, and I really pride myself on us because we never had like I've had like the most toxic relationships since I'm 17 and a half years old.
But you've had good ones, no?
No.
No.
Good moments, yeah, but very
Well, you have children.
toxic. Yeah, but you're fighting in between. You understand? Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I don't really talk about that marriage because I did have children. So,
How many marriages have you had? How many?
Three.
What I want to say is you say it's toxic, but you are still touring and working with your opening act who was a fiance. I would say that that's pretty.
You didn't say that one was toxic. Was
No,
that
it wasn't.
one toxic?
It wasn't. There was just no reason to get married. You know,
Well, not only no reason to get married, there was reason to find somebody else.
No. After Eleanor, there was another wife.
Oh.
And after that wife, there was a bunch of girls, and then there was another wife. And then I was like, I'm done. I'm never getting involved again.
With anybody.
Not like in a heavy way. Yeah, I didn't want to...
Sex you'd have, but not...
Listen to you talking dirty.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize who was in the room.
Your daughter's here, for Pete's sake.
Do you know what I was talking about? Do you know?
Dirty?
Sex.
Sex? Yeah.
All
No,
right.
so anyway, we met and it really worked out. Yeah, to this day, we've never... Yeah, there were days I wouldn't talk to the last wife for like 4 or 5 days at a clip. That's how bad the fights were. So,
Really?
Yeah.
What would you fight about that would last 4 days of silence?
It could be over anything.
Okay.
It could be over anything. It could be over, a pair of shoes I'm wearing or a pair,
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever have a fight over a pair of shoes you were wearing?
Yes.
What was the fight? What was the fight?
Why would you wear those boots instead of these boots? You're doing a show.
And you'd go, fuck
And
you,
I'd
I'm
go,
not talking to you for a week.
No, and then it would just escalate, and she had a very bad temper.
Wow.
Yeah, there were times I would have to, like call her father to try to calm her down. It was
Wow.
crazy. It was crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've
So
been through a lot.
yeah, let me tell you something. The doll face thing. My God.
Dollface was, I knew her.
That was the warm-up wife. See,
Well,
and
she gave you the children, too.
No, she didn't give me anything. She gave me a lawsuit.
Oh.
The doll face. What you got to understand? We used to go, me and your dad and your mom, and we'd meet at Schwab's. That's how our friendship.
You don't know what Schwab's is. Schwab's is in Hollywood. It was like the most famous. It was a drugstore diner where Marilyn Monroe or
No, Lana Turner.
Lana Turner.
Discovered.
They would discover all the starlets in the 30s and 40s, and we weren't around in the 30s and 40s, but it was when we came to Hollywood, it was the place to be seen and to be discovered. Right?
It was right on the corner of Crescent
and Sunset.
Now there's that big, there's a Cineplex movie theater in there. There's that whole corner, where there's all those, that there used to be a Virgin Records in there, with Sam Ash Music in there. But when we would go there, it was just a drugstore with a driveway, and you just park in the back. And you had people like Chuck McCann and Shelley Winters. I used to sit with Sally Marr, Lenny Bruce's wife, mother, all the time.
Why are you looking at me like
Because
that?
you probably don't know who any of these people are.
I don't.
But you've heard of Lenny Bruce.
No.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Hey, look,
I know what a DM is.
exactly.
But,
you know how to transport me across the world to Japan if I want to do a show, but you don't know.
But they were the stars, and the TV stars of that time would be there. But I think that we used to hang out even before that. When you go ahead.
We did at the Comedy Store, but then we'd meet.
We lived in the condo at La Jolla when you were just Andrew, and then when the sun went down, you became Dice. Do you remember that?
Well, yeah, I performed down there a lot.
No,
Yeah.
but you would the character Dice or the Diceman, you didn't play Diceman until the sun came down, and then you became
Exactly.
Right.
You know, I would be like, pretty normal all day. And actually, I started out, when I originally started out, it was
Impressions.
doing impressions of Jerry Lewis, the Nutty Professor, is how I got into the Comedy Store. And I would take my magic potion and turn into Travolta from Grease.
right, and sing the song.
Yeah,
Grease
and I would
Lightning.
do Grease Lightning with the singing and the dancing, the whole thing, and I would do the actual singing because we took his voice out of the off the track, because if I couldn't really sing as him, I wasn't going to do the act. But Dice started developing when I was 23, when I decided, because I really, to this day, couldn't care less about stand-up. I always wanted to be an actor. That's how I saw the career
Which you're
going.
amazing at. And you've always been amazing at acting.
I always say capable at that, because if
What was that dramatic series that you were on NBC?
Crime Story,
Crime Story. You were amazing on that. That was a serious, dramatic.
that was a gangster show
Right.
that Martin Scorsese, I always tell this story. This is great. So I do this series. It's Michael Mann after he did Miami Vice.
Right.
And I forgot about it because I auditioned 5 months before I ever got the part. Bonnie Timmerman, who was one of the biggest casting agents in Hollywood, put me on tape. And after 2-3 days, you don't hear something, you forget about it, So 5 months later, I'm visiting Brooklyn, from Hollywood, and my mother's waking me up going, your agent keeps calling. You gotta call back. And I go, no, they're gonna bother me with the Bruce Willis. I was supposed to do Bruce Willis's first movie, Blind Date. Very small part. It was basically dancing and talking like Travolta in a club scene. But I was also playing, it was Memorial Day weekend, and I was booked to do Rascals Comedy Club in West Orange. And I was a big draw there, and it was a big club, and it's 425 seats, and they got basically 6 shows sold out for me. And this is before the career took off.
Right.
Okay. So I was loyal to the club, and I was supposed to film after that weekend and go to Hollywood on Monday. But they called and said, we need you Friday. So I said, I can't do it. I can't disappoint these people. And, the club's going to lose just thousands and thousands of dollars. So I blew off the movie to do the club. The next day, which is Friday, my mother's waking me up to the agents keep calling. I go, Ma, they're going to bother me with the Bruce Willis thing. I'm not doing it. She goes, well, at least call back. So, my mother was like me. She smoked 120s. I smoke cigarettes. I haven't smoked in like 6 years. I just hold them.
What are 120s? I don't know what that is.
Like longer cigarettes.
Okay.
My mother's where I got the Dice attitude, believe it or not.
I didn't know why, when I listen to you and watch you, I always think, oh, this is like an older Jewish woman.
No. But yeah, that's where I got the attitude.
Well, she's a New Yorker through and through.
I knew
your parents.
Number one, she looked like Liz Taylor.
She's a beautiful lady, yes.
So when she would come up to destroy a teacher of mine for saying the wrong thing to me, she'd come in wearing the fur coat, the hair black, blown out, the cigarette lit in those days. It was crazy.
What, she went to your school and reamed the teacher?
All right, I don't want to lose.
Okay, finish
Doesn't want to lose track.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I called the agent. I'm having coffee with my mother. I'm not doing the Bruce Willis thing. I'm doing the club. I call the agent, and my mother sees this look come over my face as I'm talking to the agent, because what the agent's telling me is you were just hired for 5 seasons of Michael Mann's new show, Crime Story.
Right.
Huge.
Huge.
And they're telling me, every year the bumps in the money I'm going to get. And I can't believe, I just got a series. I can't even believe, and you got to fly out after your show Sunday night, go to Chicago to be in the 2-hour movie, because it was a 2-hour movie and then they would do the episodes. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it because this is Michael Mann. This is Miami Vice, you know.
Which was a big hit show at the time, and Michael Mann became a huge movie director.
Right? Yeah,
he's
Michael Mann used to sit. You know what he loved?
What's his most famous movies, just for the listeners?
Well, just one of the most commercial would be Ali,
Okay.
the Will Smith Ali movie,
Right.
which is unreal. You know,
Right.
He lasted the Mohegans, Heat.
Right.
You know, with Pacino and De Niro. You know, I mean, just one of the greatest. I nearly had the Sizemore part in Heat because Michael Mann loved me as an actor. Okay, but this is the joke of Crime Story. Now, just so you know, Scorsese took Crime Story when he saw Crime Story, and he did the movie Casino after that, because Crime Story was a real story about those criminals, like the De Niro and Pesci. I was the De Niro character in Crime Story.
Yeah.
And Tony Dennison, who played Ray Luca, was the Pesci character in Casino. But the reason he did the movie, it was a real story.
Right.
Only in the movie, he didn't have the cops, you know, chasing the gangsters like he did in Crime Story.
Right.
That's why it was a period piece set in the 60s and 70s.
Did you enjoy it? Was that a good...
I was so thrilled to get that part. You know, like I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it.
And do you think that was the big launch for you?
Well, no. What happened was, this is what's funny. Now, let's say it was this day and age and they put Crime Story on HBO. It would have lasted like The Sopranos lasted. But it was one of those shows, it's like, have you seen this? It was like either ABC or NBC.
NBC.
So nobody really catapulted. And you had guys on there like David Caruso. Everybody from that show took off. Kevin Spacey, all these, Michael Madsen, you know, Dennis Farina, Bill Smitchovich, all these great actors and actresses.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know who Bill Smitchovich is.
Well, he wound up with his own show after that, a 1-hour drama. You know, yeah, so many great actors. Like if you look,
no, but it was great. It was just it was a very classy, well acted, well directed, well written show, which was a surprise because we, being in the comedy community, knew you as an impressionist and as a singer and as a comedian.
And the only reason I did that, Howie, was instead of going to acting school once a week, I figured be on a club stage every night and develop my own method of acting. That's why I did stand-up. And that's why I walked away from the impressions and started doing a Dice-like character when I was 23. You know,
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I couldn't care less. You could quiz me about the history of comedy. I go, I don't know who that is.
But then Rodney saw you, right?
No,
go ahead.
Wait, so this is what happened. Second season of Crime Story. All right, we're shooting the day, you know, like in Casino, how they blew Robert De Niro, they blew up his car.
Right.
Okay, in Crime Story, I got blown out of a car. So they have me in a cast.
Right.
Like from the waist up. And Michael Mann's directing, and it was the only episode he directed in 2 seasons of Crime Story. And the word on the street was they're going to cancel Crime Story because of ratings. So I go over to Michael Mann and I go, we really need to talk. You know, you can't cancel the show. And he goes, all right, when we take a break, me and you are going to go get coffee. So he puts me in his Trans Am, and it was the old Vegas that we knew with the dunes. And
right.
He was cutting through the desert in his Trans Am, and I'm wearing a cast like this in the car. And we go to the pepper mill. So we're having coffee, and he's looking at me, and I'm 20. I'm 20. How old am I?
In your 20s.
No, I'm 29 years old.
Okay.
Okay, it's the second, because I got Crime Story 27. And he goes, all right, tell me why I can't cancel the show. He goes, number one, Dice, it's a very expensive show to film. Now, think of this, $500,000 an episode. What would that, you couldn't shoot anything like that today. You know, this was a 1960, today it would cost like $8 million an episode to do that.
But he would have no say over whether it's canceled or not. It's
No.
the network.
No, it was the network, and it was with New World,
Yeah.
who put up the money. He goes,
Right.
it's an expensive show. Nobody has really catapulted, like the covers of magazines, all that. Like when David Caruso got, let's say, NYPD Blue, and he's on every magazine cover.
Right.
All right. So I'm looking at him, smoking through the cast, drinking coffee. I go, listen to me. I go, I'm going to tell you a little secret that you don't know. And he goes, yeah, what's the big secret? That's Michael Mann. That's how he talked. Right. I go, just give me 3 months and I'll be the biggest star in the world.
You said that to Michael Mann.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes, what are you talking about? What do you mean? I go, I just shot this Rodney Dangerfield young comedian special.
Right.
And when it airs, I'm going to be the biggest comic in the world. I even edited the spot. Rodney let me edit the spot because I didn't like what he showed me. And he basically laughs in my face. He goes, okay, so 3 months, you're the biggest star in the world. He goes, look, Dice, I love you as an actor. I really think you have a future as an actor. He goes, but it's an expensive show. They're canceling the show. I mean, I wish you a lot of luck with the skit you did with Rodney. I go, no, it's not what you're thinking. I go, this is something that's never happened before in the world of stand-up, And I even took out an ad in Variety 2 days before the special aired. And the ad basically read, half a page was me, and the other half said, in big bold letters, I never studied much in school, but when I turned on the tube and I talked about Elvis being the king, Buddy Rich with Hands Like Lightning, Travolta sang and danced, all these different names of people I watched. And in the end, I said, Murphy and Pryor, both great, no doubt, but in 88, it's Dice Thou Shout. I never studied much in school, but I did study. And I put Rodney Dangerfield special, Saturday night, whatever. Now, if I was wrong, I would just look like a jerk off to the whole industry.
Right.
And the show aired on Saturday night, Monday I'm the biggest comic in the world. Within 6 months, I'm selling out arenas.
The way I remember
But
it is
just-
you got a lot of heat off of that, and then you got your own special.
Never needed it. Never even needed the special. I was already doing the arenas.
You were the first guy to play arenas before, like the Chappelles and all these other people. He was playing.
Wait, did that stop the cancellation of the show then? Were you right?
No. The show got canceled. I
Yeah.
actually, the punchline of it is I run into Michael Mann about 2 years later, and now I'm just doing, the biggest things in stand-up imaginable. I'm doing 80,000 people a week in concert. So I run into Michael Mann at a party. And he looks at me, and we're just hanging out, and he goes, look. He goes, whatever his age, he was like 40-something years old, And he goes, if some kid came over to you and go, give me 3 months, I'll be the biggest star in the world, wouldn't you laugh in his face like I did? And I go, yeah, it makes a point. I just knew what was coming, So I always knew what I was supposed to do in my career.
And you to have that kind of confidence, you think that came from your mom? You said your mom was like this gorgeous lady who just was so sure of herself she could show up at school with a lit cigarette and pummel the teacher for admonishing you?
My parents were so encouraging in what I did. It's funny. The kind of act I would do, and the only word that ever bothered her, pussy.
That bothered your mother?
From everything I would say on stage. She couldn't care. I go, why does that? But she goes, I don't know. It just bothers me.
See, when you used the C word?
Yeah, she couldn't care less.
Cunt was okay.
Yeah.
Pussy was really hard.
That's crossing the line.
Yeah, that's crossing the line.
Yeah.
It was just so funny, but they'd be at all my shows. They'd be at all the arenas. See, my thing was...
Bill Burr talks about you giving him encouragement when he was playing the some big events that you called him up and told him to? Oh, when he was right before he played the Green Monster, in Boston, he was going to play his stadium.
Well, Bill, all right, Bill has lit the fuse again for me. See, I've been going through, as you get older, you go through different things, and I didn't do an arena till recently in 23 years. I went back to the Garden in 2000. I did the Beacon Garden October 20th, 2000, and the Garden again October 26th, 2000, and sold that out again.
Weren't you doing something with Guns N' Roses recently?
Wait, let me tell you what happened.
Oh, what happened?
So I'm sitting in my apartment in New York with Sugar Plum, all right?
Right.
And about the biggest I would go is, 2,000 seats in this day and age.
Right.
That's what I'm comfortable in front of.
Right.
Not that I can't do more.
Right.
But that's what I've been I went through a little heart attack when I was 60.
Are you okay? I didn't know
Yeah, I'm
that.
fine. And
What happened for a second?
Yeah, I didn't even realize I was having one. I lucked out from
What happened? You have a pain?
No, I thought I pulled a nerve in my neck from exercises with my arms, but it wasn't that. I don't even want to get into it, but it was an actual heart attack. So, that's when I quit smoking again and just training. I just love exercise is my hobby. I don't do sports, but I love exercise. And so, my agents who I've been with forever,
Dennis?
Dennis and Pete Pappalardo, and, now they just merged. I actually forget the name of the agency because they merged with APA. So I'm just with them all together. So, but Pete, who's been the main agent for years now, really watches my back. So he goes, look, these rooms I'm putting you in, you'll be comfortable, all of that stuff. So, but I still have that thing in me because I geared myself, and I got to give you some credit in a second, to be a concert performer, not a club guy. I would be bored with club comics. You know how you're all over the stage when you perform? Right. Most comics aren't. They stand there like stick figures. I'm bored in 5 minutes. I change the channel.
Right.
But this, you'll like hearing this about your father. So, when you're younger and you're developing material, sometimes a thought pops in your head. You do it. So I'm doing this thing, and when I did it, I realized it's not mine. And I was really close with your mother and father, and we go for what's that?
Howie. I'm Howie.
No, Howie, your father.
No, I just
Howie and Terry, your mother.
Got it. He was talking to me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. You're talking to me. You're talking to me.
No, okay. Talk to her. Go ahead.
You're talking. So anyway, I come off the stage, and here comes Howie, AKA your father, and he goes, Dice, you did some of my stuff. So I go, no, I know, And he goes, what do you mean, I go, I didn't mean to do it, but I was too far in. And he would do like things like roses are red, violets are blue, I'm a schizophrenic, so am I. He did a couple of those. And I go, I know, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. I didn't even realize till I just started doing it because I'm searching for material, which every comic. Never did it again, but what I realized at that moment was when I said anything on stage that rhymed, it would kill. And that's...
So you didn't do his stuff again, but you took the concept.
I took the Mother Goose.
So that was you. That's all you, Dad. All you.
No, I always gave him credit for that.
He gives me credit.
Wow.
No, out of that, I started doing Little Miss Muffet, then I do a few more. Then I got the book, and I did like 20 of them.
Where did you get pussy from?
What?
That wasn't from you.
No?
No, but isn't that
was from your mother.
But isn't that amazing? What was the other one you would do besides Roses?
I don't remember.
You don't remember
I
this
don't
stuff.
remember.
But that's what I'm saying. So I just started, and it became like this signature piece that to this day I have to close my shows with that because
what's the most
audience
famous
always
one?
Does it.
What's the biggest one out of all those?
Well, the one they love to do is Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to get her old dog a bone. She bent over, and the whole crowd goes, Rover took over. Oh, she got a bone of her own. That's the most famous one.
The kids love it.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack burnt off his fucking dick. Oh, yeah, there were just so many of them,
But were you happy and content even though you reached that kind of stardom and playing in those amphitheaters and to all those people when you said you didn't ever even care about comedy? That's not what you wanted to do originally?
What happened is, as the career did build, okay, because I was headlining clubs long before the career took off.
But I remember arguing with you because we had the same manager, Mike, who's still my manager. And
I got to tell you how he saved my life. Go ahead.
he saved your life?
Yeah, I'll tell you in a minute. Telling you your story.
But you were playing, 20, 50,000 seat arenas, and he would want to book more, and you would go, no, I'm at Rascals this week. It's cash.
I just was very loyal to the few clubs that always took care of me all the years.
Right, so you would turn down an arena gig.
No, I would never turn it down, but if a club called me and go, can we have 3 shows? I go, yeah, book it. Don't worry about it. Right. But the thing about Rotenberg, and I love him to this day, because he did something, I don't even know if he realizes it. So anyway, we had, we would argue a lot, because how you did Bobby, the cartoon.
Yeah.
So Rotenberg is a tremendous strategist and great manager. I believe that to this day.
Managed you, Chris Rock.
Yeah, I even wanted to go back with him a third time, but we had some fights and we'd break up. But, yeah, we had a big fight. People came to him about a cartoon with me.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to do a cartoon. We nearly wound up. Michael Rotenberg was in a brawl outside the Comedy Store with me, with this guy. I don't even want to say his name. A guy sucker smacked me, right? And it turned into this big fight. And there's Rotenberg kicking the guy. It was we really had a lot of fun together.
Wait, Michael
wait. Michael fought?
Yeah, because he could get tough when he wants.
Michael?
Yeah.
We got to get him.
Are we thinking of the same person?
No, wait a minute.
We got to get him on the phone.
No, not yet. Not
Okay,
yet.
not yet. Okay, all right.
Is he still your manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's my godfather.
He's her godfather. He's been my best friend since we were 13.
And I know that. And I've always loved him. And even though we broke up, I wanted to go back with him a third time.
Yeah.
So now one time I was living right on Laurel where the traffic goes over, and I'd watch the traffic every day. And so I just fly in really early to LA. And I go home, make a pot of coffee, and I'm waiting because she's not there. I knew she wouldn't be there. And all of a sudden, the door opens. Andrew, and I go, I don't want to have to, I won't use the P. I said, I just came by to let you know that I know what you are. And with that, she goes and she punches me in the face.
No.
And I don't even move. I just go, the truth hurts, doesn't it? By that afternoon, I'm packed. I moved in with a friend of mine. I go to Jacoby and Miles. I file for divorce. $375.
Wow.
Okay?
They're not even a sponsor here. This is good.
I'm in my second season of Crime Story. Okay? Right. So I'm doing all right. I'm not making $1 million, but they're paying me. It's just a few thousand a week. Who cares? I can't believe I'm on this show. So now she goes to the very same attorney.
Jacoby or Myers?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Right.
One of these jerk-offs. Anyway, I get a call from the attorney. She goes to the same attorney I'm using. She wants X amount for a settlement. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. And X amount a month alimony.
Right.
So I'm like nuts. Okay. And the actual total was $22,000 with the settlement. So it's $1,000 a month for 18 months. I'm already with Trini, who became my second wife and had Max and Dylan.
Oh, I remember Trini. Yeah.
Okay, so I call Rotenberg, and I'm going nuts on the phone. And you know how he could stay calm?
Yeah.
You know, and he's going, "You can pay her the money." You know, I go, "No fucking way, not a fucking nickel, not ever." I go, "Why would I do that?" He goes, "I'm going to tell you why." He goes, "Because you could only sue for divorce one time." He goes, and by this time we were very close, me and Rotenberg.
Right.
And he goes, "We both know what's about to happen in your life." He goes, "You're going to be the biggest thing on the planet, like you've been talking about for the last 10 years.
So 22 is cheap.
You know, he goes, "Pay her the money. Because if you don't, she can come back, let's say in 5 years, and she'll get a lot of money because you never gave her anything."
Right.
So I pay her the money, you know, and
Then you
actually my girlfriend Trini used to write the check. I wouldn't even see the check. I remember there was a big celebration on the last check. About 2 months after that check, I went through the roof career-wise. But
Did she ever try to come after you?
what happened is, so now when my son Max was 2 years old, which is about 4 years later, was it? Yeah. No, yeah. I had Max in 90. I broke it. All right. So it's around 1992. Here she comes with Marvin Mitchelson. I'm sitting with Mickey Rourke.
Which was a real well-known divorce lawyer.
Yeah. It invented palimony.
Yeah.
So I'm at Cafe Roma with Mickey Rourke. And here comes some. They claim they served me at Saturday Night Live, but they didn't. You know, they just didn't. So I saw him inside the cafe. I saw him get up to probably make the call. Here comes somebody. They served me the papers. I'm looking at Mickey. He's going, "What's that, Dice?" It's
a good Mickey.
You know, I go, I'm being served papers, and I walk over to Marvin, who's standing there, you know.
Right.
You know, and I go, "Not a nickel, not a fucking penny." I go, "If you're doing this for press, you'll get it, but no money. I could promise." He goes, "We'll see." I go, "No, guarantee." I go, "I'll bet you $1 million right now that you don't get a nickel from this, case." So anyway, now Rotenberg, who is my manager,
Right.
finds me an attorney that beat Marvin 11 times in a row. I don't know where he got this guy.
Not Jacoby and Myers.
No, not Jacoby and Myers, but so he finds me this attorney, I forgot his name, but I would practice depositions, with
Right.
everything from cops to gangsters and everything in the middle, because there's no way this guy's going to shake me when I do my deposition, okay? Because it kept getting thrown out of court, and then a judge gave them one more chance, and they come back saying, "You're going to love this." Now, she was from Iowa.
Yeah.
They come back, she said she created the act, wrote the poems, which
She did?
that's what the claim was. And they were suing for like $22 million, something like that, which I just knew was nonsense,
Right.
So I come into the deposition, which she came to. I didn't go to hers. I didn't care. I just had it filmed, and I had mine filmed, but she came to mine thinking somehow it's going to rattle me. In the meantime, I'm with someone else. I got a 2-year-old son. I couldn't care less about her. So sit there and listen if you want. And I looked like Dice. I had the hair, the grease haircut,
Yeah.
The leather jacket on, but I spoke as myself to throw him off. Like, he thought I'm going to come in there and go, "Listen to me here when I talk to you with something like this. Listen here." But he was just getting Andrew.
Yeah.
Because I'm just talking, So he would take a card and he had a stack of these cards that I gave through the years, because a lot of people don't know, like, I'm a real romantic. Like, Sugar Plum knows. I don't gotta wait for Valentine's Day or a birthday to buy her the most beautiful flowers. I mean, it's a constant.
You're
It's just who I am. Yeah. So here's Marvin going, "All right, you see this card right here, this line. You're my everything. I want to share my life with you." What does that mean when you say you want to share your life?
Oh.
I go, "Well, nothing financial." It looks like a romantic card, but this goes on for hours with every card I ever gave her. That on a break, my attorney goes, it's almost like you rehearsed for this, like it's a part. I go, I did, because there's no way she's getting anything, and she didn't. I had some attorney fees, but if it wasn't for Michael Rotenberg
Getting you the best attorney.
Telling you
me
to pay first.
To pay first.
to
The 20
give
grand.
her the alimony. He goes, it's peanuts. You're gonna make millions upon millions of dollars. Give her the money. Put your anger aside and just pay her the money. Say, okay, done. And I did it. So I always tell that story because,
He's a smart guy.
he's a brilliant guy. Look what he's done with you.
Well, yeah, he's in charge. He did my hair. This whole idea of shaving my head was Michael.
Was it really?
No.
That was a bad idea.
Yeah. Wait a minute. How did that happen? Because
Razors and
no,
shower.
but like when you decided to do that. 'cause
Originally, I
don't
did
think
it for a part. In a movie. I was going to play a bad guy, and then I liked the way it felt. It felt clean, and now I don't think I can grow it back. I think when I feel where my hair is, I think it's receded and it's white, and I couldn't. I don't think I could grow it back.
I mean, it actually looks good on you.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
means
I don't have the pompadour through the ceiling anymore, but I still got hair, and I go, why would I shave it off?
You wouldn't?
No,
For a
not at
part?
this
It's
point.
it's very freeing. It's freeing. You don't have to.
Yeah, but don't you have like an electric thing that you're always?
a shaver. As much as I shave my face,
He takes a shower every day anyway, so I'm assuming it's just like part of your routine. For people that don't,
I don't know. Ask her how do I look. I got a thumbs up too. See,
No, I'm saying you look good, but
you think it's a lot of work.
Howie had this like giant head of hair.
so
like,
did you.
It was,
You had Travolta. You looked at. I've seen that picture. I think you just posted it recently.
Yeah,
you
I
and
posted
Travolta.
a bunch of pictures.
Yeah,
yesterday.
you and Travolta. You had the full, thick head of.
Yeah.
In fact, you guys look like brothers.
No, well, that was the beginning for me.
Yeah, you were a great impressionist. He did a John Travolta. You want do your Travolta? How do you?
I mean, you seem like a very nice girl, I mean, you got to make a decision. Are you going to be a nice girl? Or are you going to be a pig? I mean, that's something you got to decide early on in life.
That's good.
That's like
So-
from the PG version of
What
Fever.
did you do in school that your mother had to come in and
You keep
admonish?
going back to that. I think you like
No, I
that
think-
because it sounds like you.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, if today she'd come up with a weapon because, the way teachers are with kids. But so I had a
No.
teacher.
How are teachers with kids?
They're just not good with kids today.
Okay.
Teachers are not good with kids.
Well, not every single one. I don't hang around schools to check teachers'
That's good.
behavior.
She's a teacher.
No, I once nearly had to beat up my son's gym teacher.
Why?
Because he opened his fucking mouth and he had it coming to him, My son, Max,
Right.
when he was in middle school, he was heavier.
Right.
Okay? And I took him. See, I would do things to help my kids without saying, we're doing this to help you take off weight. I don't do it like that. I just take them and I would take Max to the beach, to Venice Beach.
Right.
And he would run with me on the beach. Okay? And then
He didn't know why he was running.
he liked
made-
it. He enjoyed it running near the ocean.
You would say,
Yeah.
"Max, come here," and then you
No,
would
we
just
And then
run.
you would
take
run
the
away
ride,
and he
go-
would chase you.
No, we would jog on the beach.
Right.
Then we'd go to Gold's Venice, okay, where he would see these guys working out, these real like champions, real
Right.
bodybuilders. And then he got on a treadmill and he didn't get off. That was his thing. He loved the treadmill. And he lost 25 pounds that
Wow.
year. And I took him to my trainer who trained Stallone for all the Rocky movies. His
Right.
name was George Pipstick. So George knows everything. He's even in one of the Rockies, the one with the Russian. He's at the cabin chopping wood. He trained Sly for the Rockies, the Rambos.
So he knows how to get somebody into shape.
Well, he knows what you can and can't do. And Max was very young. He was only 13. So he goes, okay, you could do this, but you don't want him doing this because it could hurt him.
Right.
So he taught him. Okay, so Max comes down loses all this weight. So all of a sudden he comes home, he failed gym for not wearing the right sweatshirt in the gym class, and he didn't write this report about exercise. So I'm like, oh, doesn't the teacher see, I never got back up, really from their mom. She would never, that was one of the problems, as my career got bigger.
So he didn't do his homework, so he failed. So why would you go beat up the teacher?
No. I didn't initially want to hit him.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to talk reasonably to the guy.
Okay.
So I sit down with him like Indian style, where you cross
Indian
your
style.
legs,
Yeah.
Native American, whatever you want to call them.
Crisscross applesauce.
Yeah, crisscross applesauce.
Spoons in the bowl.
With the teacher?
See where we are today? In crisscross applesauce.
Spoons in the bowl.
Okay, that's what we did. So
With
I go,
with the gym teacher?
yeah,
How do you-
on the floor.
But how do you even show up and say, "Hey, you sit down"?
No, I
and
said,
crisscross it?
I want to talk to you. So he goes, all right, let's sit on the floor. The teacher did.
Okay.
So I go, look, my kid is very upset that you failed him because he's been working very hard, to get his weight off.
Right.
And he's done that. He goes, well, if the whole class is wearing a gray sweatshirt and he comes in with a white sweatshirt, and I'm going, so that's why you fail a kid? You don't take a look and go, look what he's done? Well, he said to me he didn't want to write about exercise. He wanted to do it. And I go, and what's the problem with that?
Right.
I go, isn't that what gym class is all about? We do the jumping jacks. We don't write about them,
Right.
So, I am from a place where things get heated, Brooklyn,
Right.
So
what happened?
So he goes, well, I can't change that grade. I go, why? It's fucking gym. I go, I'm sitting here just trying to talk to you, man. If you had a kid, that did that, wouldn't you pass that kid? You're knocking himself, his self-esteem down.
Right.
He's feeling bad about what you did because it's the one thing he's done this year to do something with himself. Now I'm on my feet,
Is he still crisscross apples?
No, now he's up,
Okay.
and I go, pal, listen, because I was looked at because, me and my girlfriend always talk about that. I was really the first cancel culture. Only I wasn't, they didn't call it cancel culture. They tried to knock me down, but I came through it all.
Right.
And in this day and age, I go, I could say what I want. I was grandfathered in, when you see all this cancel stuff. But they looked at me at his school like, oh, here comes the animal. You know what I mean? This is what I had to deal with, And so the guy's getting in my face, and finally he sees I'm dead serious, you want to go? Let's go. I can't even play this California game anymore, And he goes, I'll tell you what I'll do. If he wears the right sweatshirt, this is what it's over. He goes, I'll give him a passing grade at the end of the school year.
Okay.
So I thanked him and I left.
Right.
But I would go through that,
That's what your mother did for you.
So my mother, let's go to the 6th grade.
Okay.
So I had this teacher, his name was Mr. Barketer. I'll never forget this guy because he did this great impersonation of John Wayne. Okay? He used to do it to her. Listen up and listen tight, Pilgrim. Whatever.
Right.
So there's a fire drill one day. And at that time, I'm living in a 2-family house that my father was a builder, and he built the first real neighborhood in Staten Island when the bridge went up, you know. And so we live in a 2-family house. My mother's sister lives downstairs with the upstairs apartment. So even in those days, I used to stay up late because I didn't have patience to go to sleep and wait for the sleep to come. I really had to be tired, Yeah, I'm like that to this day. I wait for sleep. Come on already. Where are you? So, yeah, like I don't believe in just, I can't even believe it when somebody could just lay down and they're out. Like,
Well, then don't lie down until you're tired.
No, yeah, 4 a.m. Yeah.
Still?
All good. Yeah, I love staying up late. But my girlfriend,
Right? Yeah.
I could be watching TV. She'll come out. She'll go, how late you gonna stay? Aren't you gonna go to bed? I'm like, I'm allowed to. I'm a man. Like if I want to stay up and make some phone calls, what do you care? You know, I make calls all night.
All night?
Yeah, late. Yeah.
Who
Do people appreciate
Just
that?
friends of mine, friends that stay up late. You know, that kind of
people.
stuff.
Do you think
have
they're
no
staying
patience.
up late because
They love
you're
to
calling
stay
them?
up. You know, it's like, that's one the part of show business I love.
Staying
That-
up late?
Yeah, I love that. I love working out late. I love talking on the phone late. I love that stuff. So, but she'll be like, "It's time to go to bed." I go, "What? Okay, Mom."
Bedtime.
You know, like
What time does she
what do
go
you
to
care?
bed?
Oh, well, now it's late. You know, now it's like 1 o'clock is big for her.
Really?
You know, yeah, she'll be.
I
like,
go to bed before 9.
Yeah, but you have like network shows. You have a different lifestyle.
Apparently I have patience.
You know, no, I can't.
Sleep
At 9
comes, I don't-
o'clock at night, I'm first eating dinner at 9 or 10.
Really?
Yeah, I love being up late.
So you're in middle school and you're impatiently waiting for sleep.
Okay, impatiently waiting for sleep. So I would come into the kitchen where my mother would be sitting with her sister having a pot of coffee, you know, whatever, late night, New York, you know.
Yeah.
So my mother goes, "How was school today?" I go, "No, it was good." I go, "We had a fire drill." And, you know, it was funny. Mr. Barkita walked down, like, the line, you know, that the kids were in, you know, and he gave me, like, a little tap, whatever. And she goes, "Wait a minute. What did he do?" You know. I go, "No, he does John Wayne, you know."
Right.
So he, like, get in line, Pilgrim, that
Right.
type of thing. you know.
Right.
So your teacher hit you.
No.
And I'm like, no, I knew at that moment I said the wrong thing. And so now it's the next day, and she's looking at my aunt. Like, "Do you believe his teacher put his hand on him?" You know.
Oh my God.
And my aunt's going, "His hands should fall off his arms." Do you understand?
Gosh.
You know. It was like cursing like that, you know. They didn't say like F words or, you know, it was like, you know, "Oh, his head should only fall off his shoulders," things like that.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know, my
Mutilation.
grandmother, they'd get in arguments in diners when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Because men would come on to them. Even my grandmother was really great looking, you know. You know. And like
Guys
if a
would come on to
guy
your
started coming on to my mother or my grandma, whatever, my mother would be like, "Don't you work?" And the guy would say some snide, reply.
Yeah.
And my mother would go, "I bet if my husband was standing here, you wouldn't say that."
Oh.
You know. And then my grandmother would just turn around and go, "You should only get killed. That's what should happen to you." It was crazy, right? It was, and I'm the coffee boy. I'm 7 years old bringing them coffee, you know. So anyway, yeah, that was like the cursing back then. It wasn't even like F you, you know, get killed,
Die.
you know. Yeah. You know, you should be hit by a Mack truck. That should be your life. You know, it was that kind of cursing.
So your grandmother was also a romantic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, my grandmother was great. She married a guy for a day, you know.
What?
That's great.
Yeah, she had a regular husband who died, you know, my mother's father. And then she
regular
was
husband that
dating
died.
this guy that kept putting pressure on her. So she married him and divorced him the next day. She goes, I can't stay married to you. I don't love you like that, you know.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
Someone just
So
did that.
it was
because they
easy to do
smashed-
back
Did you see
then.
that? Smashed her face in a cake, and so she divorced him the day after they got married.
Yeah, but back then it was easy. It's not like today. You know,
Right, right.
You
everything's...
just get it annulled.
Yeah, you just get rid of them,
Like
whatever,
Ricky.
one way or another.
Okay.
So anyway, the next day after the fire drill incident,
Right.
I didn't know my mother's coming up. All of a sudden, the door opens. There she is in the black mink coat, the cigarette, the black hair, the whole thing, you know. And the teacher's looking, and She goes, "You're Mr. Barkita?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm Andrew's mother." "Yeah, okay. Do you lay your hands on my kid?" This is in front of the whole class. That all the kids are like, "This is a show now. This is unreal."
Are you embarrassed?
Yeah. And so she says, "Well, he said you like pushed him or, gave him a little shot." He goes, "No, I do this John Wayne thing, And she goes, "Yeah, I heard about it. Why don't you do it for me?" And she's got the cigarette, "Do it for me." So he launches into John Wayne, across the room from my mother. The whole class applauds, including me. It was a great John Wayne. And she goes, "Okay, I'm just his mother, and I just want to make sure there's nothing going on that shouldn't be going on. And I'll leave now. It was very nice to meet you." And she had a lot of charm. So when she leaves, the class is applauding. The guys are whistling for her. That's the effect she had on people.
Yeah.
And yeah, anybody would mess with me. I mean, honestly, you know how Mitzi could be at the Comedy Store.
Sure.
Very charming, but when she was mean, she was mean.
Yeah,
and that's
Mitzi, the owner of the Comedy Store, Pauly Shore's mom.
Yeah, who I loved, And, so for 10 years, my mother would hear about the Comedy Store, and... she would ask me about the comics at the Comedy Store. And, I came up as like a drummer and a singer. I knew about entertainment, not just comedy. And she goes, "So tell me about this is like when I first come back to Brooklyn, and I say, "Well, they're good, but they don't move up there." That's what I liked about it. You moved. You were all over the stage. And another one that moved was Richard Lewis, with the way, so I could sit and watch his act. I go, I watch these guys, I walk out of the room, I go, they're funny, but they don't move,
Well, you were the first that really just became this like white hot lightning, at least of my era, and played these big things. What is next for you, Dice? What are you looking at?
That's why I wanted to talk about the Bill Burr thing.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So
you forgot?
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
You have
Bill
no
Burr.
patience.
Well,
I'm
this
sorry.
is all right. So this is the
It's like
thing.
waiting for sleep.
I
with
did
you.
want to hear that.
All right. Well, this is the thing. So I don't go to shows, really. I just don't go, especially comics. I have no interest. But I happen to love Bill Burr. He's angry. I love that kind of comedy. So we're sitting in New York at our place, and Kerry goes, "Oh, Bill Burr's going to be at an arena." I always forget the name of it, in Newark, New Jersey. I go, "When?" She goes, "Tonight." Now, I know Bill saw me and decided to do comedy when he saw me at the, I did 3 nights in Boston at one of the arenas there. I just forgot the name right now.
Not the Garden.
And no, didn't do the Boston Garden. I always say the name of that place, the Centrum, the Boston Centrum.
Okay.
Where he talked about this after on his podcast, that he was second row, all the way up in the back.
Right.
And saw me and decided to do stand-up. So I text Bill. I go, "Would you mind if I come to your show tonight? If it feels weird, I don't have to come." Because just like with Rodney's the guy that put me on top. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if he texted me, "Dice, I'm coming," Rodney's coming, I got to be good. You know what I mean?
Right.
You feel the pressure of that. But he wrote back something to the effect of, "I want you to come." Okay. So I was excited. I haven't been to a comedy concert forever. I saw Rodney when in 90, in Atlantic City. I saw Billy Gardell at Treasure Island about 15 years ago.
Right.
And that's it. I just don't go to comedy shows, So I show up, I come in the dressing room, And he just gets up, and he's got this smile on, and he goes, "You're going to do some time tonight, right, Dice?" And I'm looking at him because I'd been talking to my agents that even though I'm doing these smaller theaters, 2,000 seats for me it's nothing. It's easy. After everything, I did over 300 arena shows. I did the Rose Bowl with Guns N' Roses, 103,000 people. So I've done the biggest things you could do, but not in 2.5 decades, basically, And he doesn't know my problems physically, And I go, I just really want to see you, He goes, "No, you got to do some time." So it was funny because on the way there, I'm teasing my girlfriend, going, "Oh, it's been years since I've done an arena, this and that, And she's going, "You're not going to perform." I go, "Nah, this is going to be a big night, I'm kidding her. But she says to me, "I don't know, maybe, because I could always fool her." She goes, "Maybe he'd ask you to introduce him." I go, "Whatever, But now it's real. Now
Right.
he's in my face going, "You're going to do time." So what am I going to say? I can't? I said, "Well, maybe I could introduce you." I'm using a line. So now Club Soda Kenny, who was my bodyguard, road manager for many years, he works with Bill. Now all of a sudden here comes Club Soda going, "Okay, you're on." Like right after Dean Del Rey, I was going on, And now we're walking towards the arena, and I'm like, "All right, just do what you do." And I it was scary to me. I'll admit it. So Club Soda's introducing me. His intro was great. He goes, "Get ready to be starstruck." Which made me laugh. He goes, "The undisputed heavyweight comedy king, Andrew Dice Clay." And the place exploded. Like, they don't know I'm there.
Right.
And I go up, and honestly, once I was on, I could have done 2 hours.
Wow.
And I did. I gave Bill this incredible intro,
But he said that your words of encouragement were great because I asked him, he was here, and I asked him about playing the Boston Garden, which was his homecoming. He's a Boston kid, and that's the
He also did Fenway Park.
Oh, Fenway Park, not the Boston Garden,
Yeah,
Fenway Park.
Fenway Park.
And he said that you really encouraged him and helped him get through that.
Well,
You had texted him.
You know what happened? I'm getting ready. You ever do Parks Casino in Philly?
Maybe.
Okay.
I forget.
Well, it's a pretty new casino. I love it because the way they have it set up. It's brand new. So my phone rings. I'm getting dressed, and I see it's Bill. So I talk to him about, and talking about the Fenway thing. I go, "I'm trying to get dressed. There's an Eleanor's on stage right now, But we talk for like 20. What are you going to wear? I go, it's a special thing. All of that stuff.
So you gave him clothing advice?
Yeah. Which when I was on the phone with him recently, I go, "I hope I didn't overstep by bringing up
What
the
did he
clothing
wear?
thing." Who knows? I never saw it yet. I go, "I hope I didn't overstep with the clothing." He goes, "Do you understand that's coming from a guy wearing fingerless gloves and shorts that a 3-year-old wears normally?" So it's just a big laugh.
Speaking of your shorts and your fingerless gloves, I've been loving you on TikTok. I have been loving you going up to strangers in the streets of New York or wherever you happen to be, but the New York ones, because those people just make me laugh.
I have become a menace in New York.
We played some of your TikToks.
I
think,
played
on the
them.
past.
It's
I
on
think when Bill-
Instagram and TikTok. I can't stop, and it's now become a thing. Do you have any of them?
Yeah. we
Yeah,
can play
you want
them.
to play one where he
let's
goes
say-
up to unsuspecting people and who don't know.
I don't
that
know
the-
what we're gonna say. So
I don't know what we're going to see either.
You
but-
tell it. He's going to bring up your TikTok, and you tell us which one to click on.
okay, all right. Oh, I did a good one too. I don't know if he's got the one with Billy Joel there.
You did it with Billy Joel?
Oh yeah, I thought I was gonna get thrown out of his show.
At Billy Joel? Is Billy Joel in the... These are them.
Babe,
You see it?
do you know where the Billy Joel one is? Because she handles the.
We're looking for it.
I don't know how to post on TikTok, just Instagram.
So are these is the Billy Joe one on Instagram?
If my girlfriend is there, she knows
there.
all of them.
What, it looks like you were with Epstein.
You know.
Is she helping? Is she there?
Yeah, they're going through it.
She's scrolling through it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Billy Joe one is great.
But you go up to a lot of people who aren't suspecting, and there's Billy Joe.
All right,
Okay,
all
let's
right, all
watch
right.
this.
Here we go. All right.
1.5.
I don't believe it. Billy, how you doing? This is so... Give me a hug. Give me a hug. This is so... Because I never got to see you in concert. You know what I mean? So this is like a thrill to me. And like, I only need 3 songs from you tonight. I know you're going to do a lot, but like Just the Way We Was, that's one of them, right? And
Just the Way We
the
Was.
Uptown Girl thing. And oh, how we... You know, the rain, we made it through the rain that day.
No.
No way.
That ain't me.
What do you mean that ain't?
That's not my stuff.
We made it through.
No, that's Barry Manilow.
No, I'm just saying.
I know, you're just saying, but it ain't me.
No, I'm just gonna go sit and wait. You know what I mean? No, thanks for your time.
Okay.
You don't do that ever, like for no reason. Like, all right.
Show me.
I hope that people who
Carrie.
are just listening go onto YouTube and watch that, or
No.
go onto your TikTok and watch that, because his face.
That's
Wait,
TikTok.
Carrie,
That's
give him
not me.
another one that you know that Howie would like. Oh,
You wanted me for something?
No, I don't want you for anything. These people are just in shell shock.
oh wait, this one. If it's what.
Hi, excuse me. You were the ladies that wanted a picture. I've taken a lot of them, but I would. You seem like you were bothered and wanted the picture with me.
No, I didn't want a picture with you. I don't even know who you are, sir.
I love those.
This is hysterical.
I can't. When I leave my apartment in New York, all right, that was like the airport. She'll say, you know, she goes, look, I know what you're going to do when you go out there. You know, she goes, just make sure you can take whoever you go over to.
What do you mean?
Like if there's a fight.
Like if there's someone that
Like she
actually
Has
doesn't
gets
mind
anybody
mad.
if there is a fight.
Is there anything that we haven't seen that somebody has gotten really angry?
Those I just don't put up. I just don't bother putting up because I've had some and then I do get mad.
You
know, if
get
they
mad?
If they get in my face.
If they get in your face,
If they get in my face, I don't back up. You know,
But
you
you're
want to
what-
fight, you came to the right place. That's it.
they came to the right place.
You
went
walk up to them.
No, but that's not the point. I'm friendly. When I come over. You see, I'm smiling at them.
Here's the Rita.
Rita.
Rita? Joey from Christian Singles? How you going?
I don't think so, Joey.
Not you.
Christian singles.
Just look how fast she reacts.
I don't think so, Joey.
I think Christian
Yeah,
singles.
that became another one where I go over to girls. I go, Rita, Joey from Christian Singles. You know, but that woman, we couldn't believe her because it happened so quickly. Like she was waiting at a bus that goes to Brooklyn.
Right.
She's been dealing with Joey's her whole life. So when I
But
come
you
over,
think that woman gets approached a lot?
no,
By
did
Joey's?
you see how hardcore her attitude is?
But I wouldn't think that. I would imagine.
No, she's been dealing, let me put it another way.
Okay.
She's been dealing with assholes like that her whole life. So the minute she hears, yeah, Rita, Joey from Christian, yeah, I don't think so. Like walk away type of thing.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
to walk away.
No, she
No,
got
he
me to
walked
walk away.
away.
She just wants to get rid of me.
You seem respectful. If they say no and they don't
Yeah.
want any part of it, you walk away.
Yes, I do.
So first of all, I want to say I can't thank you enough for coming in, and I miss you, buddy. And I watch you, and I've been enjoying you. And anyway, what do we want to plug? What do you want to plug?
I don't even know. You know, I didn't even come to plug. Well, you know, we are pitching. This is going to wind up a show at the Famous Face. You know, so I am meeting with producers on that. And,
The things that you're doing on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, it's a whole show.
And they could follow you and where you're going and your live
They can
performances.
follow me on Instagram.
What is your handle? Dice at...
Babe,
You don't know your...
what? What?
At Andrew Dice Clay.
I don't know. I'm not savvy like that.
You don't have to be savvy to know your fucking name.
No, but it's on Facebook. Andrew Dice Clay Official.
There you go.
Yeah.
The TikTok thing over here.
Which is also Andrew Dice Clay? Is
Yeah.
TikTok also Andrew Dice Clay?
No, that's Dice Official, right?
No, that's Facebook is Andrew Dice Clay Official. TikTok is what?
What's TikTok, guys?
At Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of gigs. I'll be in Atlantic City in October.
They gotta see you live.
At the Golden Nugget. I'm doing the Paramount in Long Island.
one more question before I go. Were you on
on
stage
the
with...
17th of
were you on,
December.
Were you on stage with...
doing what?
Guns N' Roses?
Oh, that's the thing you asked me about.
Right.
That's the whole thing with Bill Burr. I started texting him. I go, look what you started. Okay, so within a few weeks, on a Monday night, I get a text, nearly midnight, from...
It's not a bad thing. You're up till 4, impatiently waiting for sleep.
No, but this is like, it's one thing to go up in front of like 18,000 people, and I get a text from the road manager, Tom Mayhew, going, congratulations, we'll see you tomorrow night. And they wanted me to open for GNR because it was like, it's very nostalgic because I did it with them at the Rose Bowl in '93. So, even my girlfriend, the way I reacted, I was like, oh my, I go, this isn't even she goes, if you don't want to do it, I go, I have to do it. So it was the next night and it was over 50,000 people. And once again.
How long did you do?
Oh, just like like a store set. You know what I mean? Like a comedy store set. But once again, you don't know how they're going to react when you walk out there.
Right.
And it was a gigantic and I was frightened. I even looked in my own camera. She edits it, but I go, what is wrong with you? Because I'm always trying to prove, myself.
Right.
And so now my agents are looking to book the bigger places, special gigs, and build up to arena status again. And really, I got Bill Burr to thank for it because I walked out to that Guns N' Roses crowd, which I would not have done if I didn't do Bill's show. And I went out there, and that place went ballistic. And I'm looking as far as the eye could see, going, this is like humongous.
Oh, there it is. Is that it? On the screen?
Yeah. This is the walkout.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Watch this.
That's incredible.
That's incredible, buddy.
I didn't even feel my body.
That's amazing.
And then this is that.
That's amazing.
And then watched, I got to say it because, I love GNR. I always loved those guys. These are guys that used to ring my bell 3 a.m, by the way. And we would just hang out at the Rock and Roll Ralph's.
But I bet you Axl probably goes to bed around 10.
No. He did, let me tell you, he did 3 hours and 20 minutes. And we just sat on the side of the stage. They were just absolutely hands down amazing. You know how, it's not, they could have done an hour and a half and walked off.
Right.
3 hours, 20 minutes, no break, every song you'd want to hear. And Slash's guitar playing, each solo better than the next. So intense, the playing. All of them were just fantastic, tough. And it's just great seeing them just kicking ass. And I was just so proud to be part of that again. But it was so gigantic. I'm telling my girl, because I would tell her the stories of yesteryear.
That must have been great to see. And just seeing the picture, if you're listening to this, go to YouTube and just watch that little clip. It's just, it's epic.
But I'm just glad I get to show her this stuff now. So now my agents know, You know, all right.
Are you gonna pull the trigger? Are you gonna take it to the next level,
Well,
like a marriage?
I'm gonna go on a bigger tour in February.
No, but I'm
now.
That's
talking
not
about
what
the
he's talking
girlfriend.
about.
You know, and then I'm trying to. What do you mean pull the trigger with what?
Are you done with marriage?
No, we talk about it all the time.
I'm talking about it now.
I tell her all the time. I don't want to get into this, but I tell her all the time. I go, if I was allowed to buy the ring, like just go somewhere, we'd already be like, you know, official.
You're not allowed to?
No, she's Southern. She's got to be able to have
She's
like
from Texas.
Yeah, that's Southern. She's got to be able. Her family is all, you know, New York, but she grew up in Texas.
In Texas, you're not allowed to buy a ring for a woman?
No, you don't
There has
understand.
to
She's
be
got a certain
protocols, right?
style, like the briquette.
I don't know anything about you.
You know what? The ring goes in a like
know
the
what
diamond goes in a certain thing.
Right, in a ring.
So she has a certain style. So I'm like,
And you know what it is.
not really.
You said
'Cause she
briquette.
changes her mind, and I'm like,
So it's
you
her
know,
fault.
so we got to go look.
You would take it to the next level, but she can't make up her mind on that.
Yeah, but
type
we're
of thing.
really at that level anyway. She's got we're like half engaged right now.
What's half engaged?
Please, don't you know anything anymore?
No.
You know, your father's a big person in the industry, and he doesn't even understand that.
Because he's been married a very long time, so
43
he doesn't
years.
know any.
43 years.
Yeah. So I don't know how this works, but it sounds like it's working great. She seems to have your back. She's a beautiful young lady.
I've never.
You've done good, and I wish you nothing but
Did you see the
continued success.
almond-shaped eyes and everything?
Pardon me?
Her eyes.
Were
They're
almond
beautiful.
She was beautiful. I didn't notice they were almond shaped.
Yeah, and she doesn't, you know, do any with the lips like all these girls do to have
She
lips
won't do
like
anything
that.
with her lips.
You know how girls
Oh,
today
she
all
won't.
want.
You're talking about.
They all want the
No
toilet.
enhancements.
You know, women today they go for the toilet plunger lips. You know, they go to get shots.
She doesn't need them though.
No, she's a natural beauty. Yeah, I
is
go
there-
crazy from her.
Well, that's fantastic.
You know,
And I'm sure
finally.
she feels the same. Finally, so
I
this
can't
is
even
it.
afford sleeves anymore from all the divorces, and you're telling me go get married again. When will this air?
We don't have plans.
Third quarter of 26, right? I don't know. I don't have anything to do with the programming,
Oh, really?
but I
You
will-
got this gigantic place where you could transform yourself into the future
Yeah.
and be where people are, and you're not, but you don't know when the show is.
I don't know when the show airs, but if you're listening to it, it's airing. Just to tell people that if they're listening to it now, it's airing. And feel
Oh,
free
so
to.
is it on now?
I don't know. But somewhere somebody's watching it. Subscribe, comment. We have merch. You have merch. Do you sell merch?
Do you have black T-shirts
Yeah, we do.
with the name?
Stuff.
Do we have anything we can give them? Black?
Probably we have a whole cabinet full of stuff.
Yeah, let's give them something. What size are you?
Well, I take XLs and I take double XLs.
See if there's XLs and double XLs. Let's see if we have
Only
some.
in black. Don't
Only in
bother
black.
with red or green or blue. I don't believe in that.
Did you get him something, Rich?
Yeah, he
Bring
got
it in.
Let's see what you got. Let's see what this
You
guy
could just
got.
leave it going until we get off the.
Let me see this. All right.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's got stuff.
what-
No, he doesn't want colors.
No colors.
No, I don't mind. What does it say on it,
It
though?
says stuff.
It's got
I
stuff
like
on it.
stuff.
This is Howie Mandel does stuff. Is the name of the thing. So it just says stuff.
So you got double XL too?
Is that?
That's all I had, yeah.
That kind of answer, you know.
That's
What
all I
do I mean
had.
about having problems?
That's all I had.
Right.
Yeah, it's like take it or leave it. He might as well say that. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
You know.
You want to
But,
say goodbye to camera?
Oh, I wanna say goodbye. Is this the camera?
Well,
I'm not even sure which the camera is.
Is he looking in his camera, guys? Yes, that's your camera.
I've been looking at you the whole time.
Yeah, that's what
It's
they do.
okay. It's a
Oh, okay.
conversation. So you're
No,
supposed
but I
to be
want to say
looking-
goodbye. I want to say it was great to be here on this show, on this particular podcast with the incomprehensible Howie Mandel.
The what?
Uncomprehensible.
I'm uncomprehensible?
Yeah, you know that. You're unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Incomprehensible.
You know,
All right.
incomprehensible.
And me.
What about her?
Well,
Did you enjoy being with me?
Yes, I really did.
Thank you.
I think it's really nice that you do this as a family.
It is nice.
You know,
And that's Alex.
and I think you're good at it.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you. I think you're good at what you do too.
you know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But really, that's I like families that are close.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, there's too much that goes on that you shouldn't be close.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's good. Good advice for people that are listening.
And let's face it,
Mm-hmm.
you get away from the kids.
My kids?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I do know.
Oh, I'd love to do this, but I got to be with the incomprehensible Howie Mandel today on the podcast.
Unprincipled. I hope that's how
Yeah,
people introduce you from now on.
It's just,
that'll be my
why
thing.
don't you understand the language? It's,
You say you're a teacher.
Yeah.
It's sort of
I was a
Brooklynese.
teacher.
You worked, what'd you teach?
I taught kindergarten,
I like that, kinder.
first, second, and third for 10 years.
My sister did that.
Yeah?
Yeah, now all she does is retire.
I was a good teacher.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, don't ever retire.
Well,
Don't
Why,
ever
is your sister
retire.
not doing well?
I'm not even talking to most people over like 42 years old anymore.
isn't mom in the other room?
You know.
I don't know.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah.
Isn't she in the other room?
You're on the air.
No, I left. I had to go home.
Oh, okay. Well, Dice is here. We're all listening to you. We're on the air.
Well,
Who's
I
this,
just
Terry?
wanted to tell you, Dice, you were wonderful, and it was nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Wait a minute, though. Is this on?
It is on.
No, you're listening to the show.
No, I'm not listening to the show. I'm talking to my husband on the phone, and I can hear you.
No,
The
but listen to me now.
Say it
Howie says he doesn't know if it's on. He actually said that. He doesn't know when his own show is on. But listen, that's between you and him.
I can't hear you anymore.
All right. We're going. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Mom's still talking.
Bye.
Everybody's talking.
Is that the
Someone
playoff
else is
music?
calling you.
What?
That means we're done.
Okay.
Oh, someone else is calling.